A barbarian's rage. He is not the leader. He is something more respected, the one the others keep close on the shield wall. He's boisterous, loud, not the sharpest thinker, but loyal and decent. He shares his rations. He remembers every man's name. He is a barbarian. The barbarian is part of a warband on the march. They march to Morveth to take on the wizards that live there. They raid because the northern lands are starving, and these wizard lords hoard grain behind magical walls. The Conclave of Morveth is a fraternity of scholars-turned-lords. They take people for research, animals too. The wizards are not cartoonishly evil, they're coldly utilitarian. They believe knowledge and magical refinement justify anything. Suffering is simply data. The assault begins well, the warband breaks the outer ward, then the Conclave responds fully, and it is unlike anything the raiders expected. Stone guardians animate from the walls, wind shear knocks men from their feet, fire rains in precise geometric strikes. It is not a battle, it is a demonstration. The warband is destroyed in minutes. The barbarian fights until there is no one left to fight alongside. He does not flee, he is taken. As the barbarian is subdued, a wizard steps over the body of his closest companion, a grizzled old fighter named Bren, and doesn't even look down. He's already writing in a small notebook.
Interesting combat adaptation. Subject 7 absorbed 2 direct strikes before...
The barbarian suddenly lunges, but is knocked unconscious by a spell from the quick-thinking wizard. The barbarian wakes underground. A stone room, a drain in the floor, a slot in the door. The wizards are not sadists for pleasure's sake. They torture with clinical purpose. They want to understand how his body works, how much pain before cognition degrades, what makes a barbarian's constitution different. They take notes. This is worse than cruelty. It's indifference. The barbarian is not a prisoner to them. He is a specimen. In the early weeks, the barbarian rages, screams, beats the walls until his hands bleed. Months in, he stops expecting rescue and starts just surviving. A year in, he begins to change. The anger is still there, but it is compressed into something quieter and deeper. He thinks more, prays to his ancestors, recites the names of his dead. A rat squeezes under the door one evening and freezes, staring at the barbarian. The barbarian stares back. He is enormous, even sitting. The rat should flee. It does not. A standoff. Then the barbarian tears a small scrap of bread from his ration and sets it on the floor. The rat takes it and disappears. This repeats for days. Then the rat starts staying longer. The barbarian starts talking to the rat. First narrating his day to fill the silence, then genuinely conversing. He gives the rat opinions and answers them himself.
You think the tall wizard or the short one did the ceiling? Me too. Shoddy stonework.
The rat develops a habit of sitting on the barbarian's knee and grooming himself with tremendous self-satisfaction. The barbarian calls this the ceremony. The barbarian teaches the rat to recognize his name. When he says, "Mog," the rat twitches an ear. The barbarian treats this as proof of exceptional intelligence. Mog brings the barbarian small things, a pebble, a bit of wire, once a dried pea, and the barbarian accepts each gift solemnly. He lines them up along the wall like treasure. When the wizards come, Mog hides. When they leave, he reappears and sits on the barbarian's knee as if standing watch. After a particularly bad session with the wizards, the barbarian is on the floor, quiet. Mog climbs onto his chest and simply sits there.
Aye.
The barbarian says after a long while.
Me too.
Through the years, the barbarian has become something he was not before. The loud, boisterous raider is gone. What remains is someone quieter and more certain. He has memorized the sounds of the jail, who walks when, which guard is lazy, which door sticks. He has thought in the dark about his ancestors, about what they endured, about the old stories of the ancestral rage, the gift and the curse of his bloodline. He's felt it stir once or twice during the worst of what the wizards have done to him. It frightened him. A rage without walls, they said. A rage that does not stop. He does not know it will matter soon. A wizard walks past the cells, reviewing scrolls. He's not there for the barbarian. He's distracted. He nearly trips over his robes. Then he notices the rat. Mog is at the base of the door, attempting to squeeze himself back under it. The wizard pauses, vermin near the specimen cells. He raises one finger, says 3 words, and fires a precise bolt of fire. It's not dramatic for him. It's like swatting a fly. The charred body of Mog rolls the rest of the way under the door. It comes to rest against the barbarian's foot. The barbarian picks Mog up. He looks at his small gifts lined up on the wall. He looks at the door. The rage is not a switch. It builds. It comes up from somewhere older than him, from a long line of warriors who endured the unendurable and then, at last, stopped enduring. His hands begin to shake. Then his jaw sets. His vision narrows. He stands. The wizard has already walked 3 steps away, still reading his scroll. The door comes off its hinges. The wizard turns, sees the barbarian. His first response is smugness. This is a caged animal. He casts immediately. The barbarian takes the hit. It should hurt visibly. His skin scorches. He staggers, but he does not stop. He keeps walking forward. The wizard backs up, confused, and escalates. A force blast, a binding of crackling light. The barbarian breaks the binding by sheer force. When he reaches the wizard, the fight is over in 2 blows. He feels the rage climbing higher and knows he cannot stop it, even if he wants to. The barbarian moves through the underground corridors. Each encounter escalates the magic thrown at him, a corridor filled with sudden ice, stone hands that rise from the wall to grab, a ward that floods the passage with blinding light. He handles each one, not cleverly, but relentlessly. He goes through things. The ice cracks under his boot. The stone hands get ripped off the wall. He covers his eyes with his forearm and keeps walking. He keeps going. He surfaces into the town proper. The Conclave's compound stretches before him, and they are ready. 5 wizards spread wide, with the full resources of the compound. They are not panicked, not yet. They are curious and contemptuous. The single subject escaped. They'll contain him and take notes. 2 large statues animate and advance. The barbarian tears one's arm off and uses it to beat the second. The wizards jot notes. A wizard conjures a wall of cyclonic force to pin the barbarian back. The barbarian leans into it until the veins stand on his neck, grabs a wooden cart from the edge of the courtyard, and hurls it sidelong. It clips the wind wizard and breaks his concentration. A wizard raises a ring of reflective magical shields around the barbarian, disorienting him with reflected images of himself. Multiplied, reduced, distorted. The barbarian closes his eyes. Then he walks toward the sound of breathing and punches through a shield. One wizard releases a roiling cloud of conjured insects. Tiny things. Too many to fight, each bite like a needle. The barbarian runs at the wizard, through the swarm, without slowing. The lead wizard, now genuinely afraid, attempts to cast something large, a pillar of white light from the sky. The barbarian grabs one of the fallen stone guardian arms, charges, and closes the distance before the spell completes. The pillar fires into empty air. The rage is intensifying. The barbarian is not thinking in words anymore. He is not strategizing. He is a force of ancestral grief, compressed for years, finally released. He is getting angrier as the battle continues, not calmer. Each new spell is an insult. Each smug gesture from a wizard feeds the fire. By the end, he is barely recognizable as the man in the cell. The last wizard falls. The barbarian stands in the rubble of the courtyard. Smoke. Broken stone. He looks around. His hands are still shaking, but differently now. The rage is spending itself. He can feel it receding like a tide, and what it leaves behind is exhaustion, unlike anything he's known. He sits down in the dirt. He cannot move yet. He knows this. He waits. A bird lands on a piece of broken wall nearby. Somewhere in the compound, a door is swinging in the wind. Creak, creak. He watches the smoke drift. He thinks about Mog. He thinks about Bren. He says their names, and the names of everyone who marched into this valley with him. He says them all. He does not cry. That's not quite right. His face just does something complicated, and then he breathes, and then it's gone. When the rage is fully gone, he assesses himself. Wounds healing at a rate that should worry him, but somehow doesn't. He moves through the compound and takes what he needs. Food, a cloak, boots that fit well enough, a knife, a water skin. He finds the wizard's notebooks. He can't read the academic script well, but he finds his own name. Subject 12, scattered through page after page. He closes the notebook. He doesn't burn it. Burning it would be passion. Instead, he sets it carefully on a table and walks away. Let someone else make sense of what happened here. At the compound's gate, he stops, looks back once, then turns to the road and walks. He felt it, still feels it. A coiled thing below his sternum, waiting. His ancestors left him a gift, wrapped in grief. He understood now that it did not care what it was pointed at, that it would come when loss called it, whether he was ready or not. He walked north toward nothing in particular and wondered what kind of man he would have to become to carry it. This has been a chapter from the NegsBane Iron series. Follow at NegsBane for more.